Add your hero, so that will be my warrior. He has max XP. Select hero. Yes, that was me in a daze deciding which stats I was going to pick to have increased odds of successfully leveling up during my first experience. This is what this video is about, so you know how leveling up works and how to select the relevant stats for your heroes. Starting right at the top, heroes can increase their stats by leveling up. The only prerequisite is that the heroes need to accumulate enough experience from questing as seen in the XP bar. From level 1 to 10, each time the hero levels up into an odd number level, for example level 5, 7 and 9, the cost goes up by 1 Schwarz rune. Upon reaching level 10, an additional rune type as cost is introduced. This is the Moksha rune. Cost to upgrade from level 10 to 11 is 5 Schwarz rune and 1 Moksha rune. Now, from level 10 to 20, every time the hero levels up into an odd numbered level, the cost of Schwarz rune reduces by 1, but the cost of Moksha runes increases by 1. So for example, at level 13, the cost will be 4 Schwarz rune and 2 Moksha runes. A predetermined algorithm determines the probability of each stats being successfully leveled up based on individual classes' primary and secondary stat growth parameters as seen in image here. Basically, the probability are aligned with the so-called strengths and weaknesses of each class from a combat or PvP perspective. For example, a melee character like a warrior tends to have higher strength, dexterity and vitality, whilst the range or magic-based character tends to have lower values of such but high values in say intelligence or luck. These relevant strengths will then have a higher probability of being leveled up, or in other words, see an increment in that particular stat when leveled up. I will make the link to this document available in the description below so you will have reference for the growth parameters across all classes. There are some elements that you can control as seen at the start of the video where I got slightly confused. 1. You can choose a stat bonus and that will guarantee you a +1 on that selected stat. Secondly, you can choose 2 stats seeking Gaia's blessing and that will give you a 50% chance of increasing each of the selected stat, which basically means these stats selected will have a high probability of it being successfully leveled up. Question here is, how do we then go about selecting these stats? We know that the so-called strengths of the heroes have a high probability of being leveled up successfully. My approach is to double down on these stats to prepare for the combat or PvP phase. In the earlier days of my research on DeFi Kingdoms, it is said that the hero's stats are built primarily for combat purposes, so this makes sense. Of course, you have the option to also select stats that supports professional questing to increase ROI from questing. However, it has also been noted that the professional gene of the hero has more influence over the ROI of quests than their stats in a 2/3 to 1/3 ratio, as explained in my first video on DeFi Kingdoms. Therefore, this reiterates the approach to prioritizing the leveling up of the hero's strengths. Only after, I will use the remaining open selections that I have to select stats that supports professional questing. This table shows the relevant stats that have a positive influence over the ROI from questing. You get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone if the hero's strengths are aligned with the key stats for questing. The example given here is a warrior who has a profession gene of a miner or a thief with a fishing profession gene. Along with stats, the hero's health points and mana points get leveled up too. The heroes get a chance of a small, regular or large gain that is class dependent as per table shown. This gives an indication to the nature and the roles that the classes will play eventually in PvP as alluded to earlier. While the chances of gains are class specific, the formulas to derive absolute gains are uniform. To no surprise, health points are influenced largely by your hero's vitality stats, while mana points by intelligence and wisdom. Now, let's go level up some heroes. We go to the meditation circle, go to the wanderer, enter the circle, add your hero, so that will be my warrior. He has max XP, select hero. Over here, you can select the stats that you want to prioritize to get leveled up. So I've selected the stats here based on the base stats of the class of my hero, which is a warrior. warrior. So strength is definitely the one that I want first, and then dexterity, and then the third stat I have chosen luck because he is a fisher. So this would cost me 1 rune for now because I'm leveling him up from level 1 to level 2. So this is the cost accordingly, 1 rune and 0.1 jewel. So again, it's the first time I'm doing this, so I have to approve both contracts. And once that is done, begin level up. Let's go. Let's see how many of those stats gets an upgrade today. Fingers crossed again. So it will take 20 seconds, so let's wait for a while. Once the countdown ends, complete ritual. Here we go. Oh, so I've got 5 stats that got upgraded. I think that's not the best, but well, I still got a level 2 hero now, so I will take that anyways, and I'll hope for better luck next time. Let's move on to hero number 2. Hopefully this time we have a little bit more luck. So I'm gonna go with the knight this time round. So this is when I would normally go over to this Google sheet and I'll have a look. So looking at knights, the 3 key stats here are strength, vitality and endurance. I think these 2 are more important. And on top of that, my knight is also a gardener, which means vitality is also key in terms of professional questing, so that's great for me. So I'll come back here and I'll select vitality first because that's the one that I'll be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and then I will select strength and endurance. Strength and endurance. So still cost me 1 rune at this point in time, and I begin my level up. Right, the ritual now has been completed, and let's see what we got this time. Fingers crossed again. Right, so this time round, this looks decent. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instead of 5, which I got the first time round, so I'll take that. With vitality, that's great. We have a bonus, same for strength, so that's great, which means basically if you look at the bonus and you see that there's this additional 3, it just basically means that all the 3 stats that you selected for the higher probability came true, and that's great, so no complaints here. So let's move on to our last hero for leveling up. That will be the paladin. So again, let's refer to the Excel sheet. For a paladin, it's strength, vitality and endurance, so that's going to be kind of the same thing. So I'm just going to select that since the priority is always to level up the critical stat. So I'm going to go with strength, vitality and endurance. Vitality and endurance. Begin level up. Fingers crossed. Here we go, final few seconds of completing the ritual. Now it's done, complete it, and let's see what are we gonna get. So we got 5 stats upgrade the first time, 7 in the second, and let's see how the last one goes. Hopefully we get more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, we've got 7, and as you can see here, only 2 out of the selected 3 got the additional bonus, which means dexterity didn't get the positive roll to get the bonus, but that's fine. And that's basically it. So that's all the leveling up for the 3 heroes I have at this point in time, and stay tuned, I'll show you more as and when the opportunity comes. I hope that helped you in getting started with leveling up or making yours more effective with better stats selection. Do let me know how your leveling up went in my Discord server. The link to join is in the description below. We have got some lucky folks getting 10 to 12 stats leveled up in a single attempt, so come join and rub off their lucky vibes. It's also exciting times for DeFi Kingdoms as we approach the launch of Crystal Veil, and before that, the beginning of the perilous journey. Stay tuned as I bring you more updates on that, but bye for now.